with updates on potential returns and more. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report for August 11th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Speaking on his podcast about Vince McMahon's booking decisions, Mick Foley noted his contempt for WWE stars losing matches in their hometown. There is a part of Vince that genuinely likes to make dreams come true. He likes to do that for his audience. I think you could argue that he puts them through an unnecessary ringer sometimes, you know? Like, I'm not a fan of having people lose and get embarrassed in their hometowns. I guess he thinks, it's good heat. I would rather have seen, Charlotte Flair go over and Charlotte and Sasha Banks go over in Boston, instead of vice versa. Reacting to a return from injury at Summerslam, Bayley noted on After the Bell that "I'm still in shock that I'm back. I'm still kind of processing it all, but I'm just so excited. I think I'm just starting to realize that I get to perform in front of fans again and get to mess with people again, and look people in their eyes and don't have to just hear Corey Graves and Michael Cole's voice. I get to hear other voices. The SummerSlam return felt oddly normal again. I wasn't as nervous as I thought I was going to be in front of people again. With her leading a faction of Dakota Kai and Io Sky, it remains to be seen what is next for Bayley." While there have been reports from Ringside News claiming the AEW president has been hard to work with following the retirement of Vince McMahon, Tony Khan explained to DAZN why the regime change in WWE could be positive for AEW. "I think that's a good thing in some ways. If you like good wrestling, you're just more likely to want to see it because our competitor has been doing better shows recently than they had been doing. I think they've been better. It seems like that's the consensus among people who watch them. I think in general, if it's going to get more people watching wrestling, that's probably not going to hurt any wrestling company. And we stand to gain the most in many ways, because if you're a big wrestling fan, and if you've been away, you might be saying, or Chris Jericho and Bryan Danielson, CM Punk's back." So as we get to an exciting point of a lot of people coming back to the company, but a lot of new fans also, hopefully they want to embrace the new wrestlers in AEW, and also a lot of the big names in AEW that you'll be able to see on a regular basis. People that are on the show every week and have been going all summer like Jericho and Jon Moxley. Then again, whenever CM Punk is back, there's a big setup for an undisputed championship to be crowned. I think if you're a fan of good wrestling, it'd be a great time to step back in and check it out, because right now there's a lot of good wrestling on TV. During that same interview, Khan would be asked if he thinks 2022 is AEW's toughest year, as he said, "I wouldn't compare that to the stuff we were going through in 2020 with the pandemic and the passing of Brody Lee. That was horrible. But with the pandemic and shows being shut down, no live fans, having to figure out ways around that, Brody getting sick." So your original question was, what was the hardest year? Yeah, that was for a multitude of reasons. Like I was saying, I don't think those are all necessarily bad things. The wrestling business is benefiting, I think, in a lot of ways from changes. You asked about it with the injuries. Well, we've responded pretty well to those, and people that have been out for a variety of reasons are all starting to come back. There's a lot of light at the end of the tunnel, and we're getting close to the end of that tunnel in many ways. Despite recently agreeing with a fan that he's been underutilized in AEW compared to WWE, Miro told the sessions what his plans are in the company. "I want to be world champion, of course. And that's my number one goal, always going to be. In the beginning, I said that the world title that John has no weight, but now he's putting weight behind it. Eventually, it's gonna happen. I have 3 more years or whatnot, and I know it's gonna happen. I know I'm just as good as everybody else that's been champion. I'm bigger, stronger, faster, better looking." On the sessions, former WWE star Paige talked about what is next for her, saying she is working on an autobiography. So like right now we're putting a book together, so yeah, I'm really excited about that. I haven't told anyone about the book yet. I'm a cat. I have 9 lives. I mean, a lot of people haven't been through what I've been through, and it's freaking crazy. I try like people who don't know me. If I tell them even parts of it, they're just like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I don't think so." I'm glad I went through all that early, because imagine having a midlife crisis. I guess that's around the corner soon anyways. Paige would also note how she is feeling about a potential return to in-ring action. I feel fantastic. I really do feel fantastic. I still have the mental block of, oh my god, if I was to get in the ring, what if? If I was to have to be in the ring, it would be for a really big moment to wrestle. I'll do promos here and there for big companies, but to actually wrestle, it would have to be a really big moment. I would love to face Sasha again. For real, it ended the way it did. Talking about Ric Flair's final match from StarCast, Jarett revealed on his podcast that the Nature Boy was interested in doing a heart attack spot. The only thing you and I pushed back on, and we pushed back the first time we heard it, and the second time, and the third time, do not fake the heart deal. Do not, please. The afternoon of, he goes, guys, it's my last match. I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but if they are with it and I feel I have the crowd, I'm going to do it. Jay's going to have a little sympathy and I'll poke him in the eyes. When it didn't happen in the ring, at first I thought we made it. He's not going to do it. He did it on the floor. I didn't look at you, but I know somewhere you were looking at me like, why is he doing this? I saw great feedback from that. People dug it. Who are we? Especially me. It's his last match. He gets to pick. Sticking with Ric Flair, he recently noted on his podcast that he has a great relationship with AEW as well as WWE. At the same time, the guy said to me, you're kind of like burying Tony Khan. I said, how am I burying Tony Khan? Tony Khan's a man. I'm allowed to say that the card changed as a result of decisions he makes as the owner of the company. By the way, I got the nicest text from Tony Khan in the world, congratulating me on explaining why he wasn't there. So whoever's worried about me, I'm not going to mention his name. My relationship with Khan is great. I think my relationship with WWE is great. NXT star Mari Miller has caused some controversy online with her latest take as she claims that Ember Moon is the first and only African American NXT Women's Champion. As she wrote, for everyone on Twitter, fully black NXT Champion Ember Moon, I'm aware what I posted. Sasha is great and legendary for sure, let's never forget. Shout out to Ember Moon being the first and only African American NXT Women's Champ. NXT goal, let's make it 2. Now the star has deactivated her account. When it comes to the recent returns of Adam Cole and CM Punk to AEW, Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer, said the guys are coming back. Punk's back, Omega's coming back soon. Danielson's gonna be on next week's Dynamite, Adam Cole was on TV last week, and he's not cleared yet, but he should be cleared relatively soon from what I understand. So the key guys are pretty much back. With Cody Rhodes having been out of action since Hell in a Cell thanks to a torn pec, many are hoping to see the star return. Now it seems that comeback may have been spoiled as an arena that will host Raw this month said, WWE returns to Scotiabank Arena for the first time in over 3 years. See Cody Rhodes vs. Seth freaking Rollins on August 22nd. With Triple H in charge of WWE Creative, there are many previously released stars that fans can see making a return. When it comes to Bray Wyatt, Sean Ross Amplified recently said, you all want me to run a report tomorrow why some WWE higher-ups believe they are more likely to regain Bray Wyatt now than before? John Cena would also join in on the speculation of Wyatt's WWE return, posting a picture from their Firefly Funhouse match. Taking to Twitter after reports of an injury, Kris Statlander let fans know that she will return, writing, "Welp, one knee fixed, one to go. After the first knee injury, I came back stronger and better than ever, so it's all over for you all when I come back from this one. I'm sorry to let you all down once again. I'll be back bigger, more powerful, and more than a woman." The former head of talent relations for WWE, John Laurinaitis, was involved in the recent hush money scandal as he was forced to leave the company. Talking about his departure on his Hall of Fame podcast, Booker T noted how he was sad to see him go. "I give that dude a whole lot of credit for making me a much better performer. He came over from the New Japan Pro Wrestling back in the day, and in New Japan, for all the wrestlers over there, he was the finish guy. Then he came to WCW. He wanted to work with me. I was a guy who had been in the business a decade plus by that time. I was like, man, how can this guy help me? He came to me one day. He said, I want you to do this tonight. It was 5 pages written out. I was like, bro, I don't work like this, man. I can't do this. He's like, just keep an open mind and just try it out. I said, man, I'm sorry, but I don't work like this. He goes, I'll tell you what, just look it over. Whatever you like, keep it in there. Whatever you don't like, throw it out. I was like, give it here. He gave it to me. It was 5 pages long, but it was only a finish. I looked it over. I'm thinking his guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, but I'm gonna have a piece of it anyway. I'm going to flatter him, make him feel good for a moment. I went out and I did it. It was so detailed. It was some of the smallest little bitty things. Stuff that I just never really thought about. From that point on, every week, I would come to work and I would look for Johnny Ace. And I would say, what you got for me? It was like that until WCW closed down. When I came to WWE, he started writing stuff for me again. He was very instrumental in my career and making me challenge myself to think a whole lot more and to be better. So yeah, man, this is a sad day for me. I'm sad to see Laurinaitis step down if that's the case. Brian Gewirtz, who was a writer for WWE from 1999 to 2012, recalled how he got suspended from the company for slap fighting with Paul Heyman. Telling the Cheap Heat podcast, you'll love the chapter in the book where Paul and I get into an actual slap fight and get suspended from WWE. I get along great with Paul now. Who won the fight? I don't know. You know the gif of Jerry and George kind of waving their arms? It wasn't exactly Tyson Holyfield. Paul is one unique individual, a future Hall of Famer. It never ceases to entertain me on screen. I think it would be a horrific mistake on a historic level you can't possibly imagine. But if there were ever a tag team match, me and Rock against Heyman and Roman, that would be amusing in terms of the mix of sheer greatness and sheer awfulness combined into one attraction, but I'd be down for it. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.